Step on a crack, the saying goes, and break your mother's back. I don't know who invented this. Maybe they were trying to identify the OCD members of society. I don't know. Maybe they were looking for the psychopaths. As fall turns into winter here in Anchorage, Mother Nature is conspiring to take out the middleman. If you walk on the sidewalk, every surface is prepared to take you out. Ow! I fall down way different than I used to. Actually, that's not entirely accurate. I fall down pretty much the same way I ever did. Getting back up afterwards, dramatically different experience now. Used to be, most of my adult life, I'd hit the ground, I would bounce right back up. I would look around real quick and see if anybody saw me, and then I would gather up any evidence of my fall, I'd brush myself off, and then I'd relocate in case there was security cameras running or something like that. And then, and only then, would I check to see if I was still integrally intact. No mas. Now, when I hit the ground, the first thing I do is I get comfortable with the idea that this is where I live now for a little while. Then, I have to make a judgment call. What are the odds that a vehicle is going to come along and hit me while I'm laying here? Anything less than 20%, negligible, not a big deal. But the next thing I have to do is kind of important, and that is, how bad did I ring my bell just now? Because when you fall and you hit your head, it doesn't do any good if you believe that a vehicle's unlikely to come and hit you, if you also believe that on the way down you chipped your antler a little bit and you tore the end off your wing, and I think I hear the dinner bell ring and Mom must be ready for supper. Pa, let's finish branding all these cattle so we can get some victuals while the getting's good. The problem with being me, with my brain, is trying to assess your cognitive capacity. A little tricky. There's always that moment of sheer panic where I'm like, oh no, now I'm an idiot, before I remember, oh yeah, that's what I was bringing to the table before the big fall down. The way I figure it out is I remember my wife's birthday. Now, this is not without risks of its own, because for a moment, if I think that maybe today is her birthday, and this is the first I've thought of it, I stop worrying about pinched nerves and cracked vertebrae because I've got higher priorities to attend to. But I've had concussions before. Yes, plural. I'm not very good at being a person. So I know that as long as the answer I come up with is a month and a number, I'm probably fine. If I think that her birthday was a color and a restaurant I've been meaning to go to, I might need to go see a specialist when this is all over. The next thing I do is I ascertain whether there's any indicators of essential fluids escaping from my body. And sometimes there are. Sometimes I look down and I'm like, oh no, brown blood. My friends were right. I am full of, oh, no, that's coffee. This is a real emergency now. After that, I check and see if I have any sharp bones sticking out through holes in my clothing. Right around that time, my body should be giving me solid information as to whether I have any other damages going on. And if I don't seem to, I will try and find out whether I'm still a weight-bearing structure by getting up and seeing how wobbly the world's gotten. If everything's still okay, I gather my stuff and I head on my way. But then I remember that I no longer have coffee, so we got to go back and get coffee. And on my way back, of course, me being me, I'm gonna slip on the frozen coffee that I just spilled. So down again, start the whole drama over again. Now, if you happen along during any part of this and you want to offer me a hand up, I'm going to be grateful for that. Thank you. But do me a favor. Don't offer to help me up if you're not wearing a face mask. Here's the thing. You don't get to be the hero and the villain in the same damn story, all right? That's confusing. It's not surprising, but it's confusing. Actually, it's weird to me how many people are surprised that so many Americans don't want to wear a face mask to protect each other from a potentially deadly disease. Surprised? Really? You're surprised that the same people that won't stop texting while they're driving aren't going to put a piece of cloth over their face to help you? All right. You're surprised that the people who won't vaccinate their kids because they figure enough of us have that they don't need to just to keep kids alive, you're surprised that they're not going to? All right. You do realize that we're a nation of people who will argue to the death but can't be bothered to read any supporting information about the argument we're engaged in? All right. You're surprised, really, you're surprised that in a store you're not getting 6 feet of social distancing from two people who, as soon as you leave the store, while you're driving, if you leave 20 feet of space between your bumper and the car in front of you, they're going to kill each other trying to get into that space at the same time? All right. That's fine. Surprised, really. You're surprised that the guy who looks you right in the eye while he's pushing the closed door button in the elevator while you're running down the hallway to catch the lift, you're surprised that that guy would be so rude as to wipe his nose and then touch a doorknob. Look, they might be right. I don't know everything. Maybe these don't work. A lot of people say they don't. Maybe they don't. You know what else doesn't work? Condoms. Seatbelts. They don't work. Hard hats. They don't work at all. Snow tires on vehicles. They do not work. None of those things work if you wear them under your nose. Come on, people. We can be better than this. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next time. By the way, you can now tell people that you saw a guy try to do stand-up comedy outdoors in 10-degree weather.